Ukraine estimates that recent strikes on Russian fuel infrastructure have eliminated roughly 22 to 27% of Moscow's refined fuel production, President Volodymyr Zelensky told reporters on October 28. That shortfall, he said, produced long lines at gas stations and forced Russian authorities to shift fuel flows between remaining refineries. Zelensky said Kiev's campaign has degraded Russian refining capacity by more than 20%, and explained that as Russia repaired some facilities and redirected supplies, other plants increased output to cover gaps. Our task is clear: continue to target the refineries that have ramped up, especially diesel production, he said, citing his review of battlefield analytics. The president outlined a simple formula for sustaining pressure: Ukraine's long-range weapon manufacturers must keep producing, Kiev must secure steady financing for those purchases, and the country must persistently work to weaken the Russians economically. He framed refinery-produced revenue as a primary source of funding for Moscow's war effort. Their money for the war comes from refining, Zelensky said. Zelensky added that the work is continuous, striking targets, tracking where fuel flows are redirected, and adapting Ukraine's targeting accordingly, and stressed that keeping diesel supplies constrained is a tactical priority given its importance for logistics and frontline mobility. Zelensky added that Ukraine is using long-range weapons of its own production, alongside smaller numbers of British Storm Shadow and French Scalp cruise missiles. He emphasized that 90 to 95% of strikes deep inside Russia are now carried out using Ukrainian-made systems, adding that Kiev will continue developing its arsenal and securing funding to further weaken Russia's economic base. This is their money for the war, from oil refining. That's why we're working on it, he said. The Institute for the Study of War earlier reported that after Ukraine's successful attacks on Russian oil refineries, fuel prices in Russia surged sharply, already hitting more than 70% of Russians. Since August, Ukraine has intensified drone attacks on Russia's oil and gas infrastructure, striking refineries and pipelines across the country. Earlier, Russia sent its first shipment of crude oil to Georgia for refining, marking an unexpected deepening of energy ties between the two countries despite years of political tension. The deal comes amid a fuel processing crisis inside Russia, where repeated Ukrainian drone strikes have forced Moscow to reroute oil supplies and seek new refining options abroad. President Donald Trump began one of his busiest days of his Asia trip on Tuesday speaking to U.S. troops aboard an aircraft carrier and mingling with business leaders. According to Associated Press, he announced a proposal for a pay rise to military personnel, which was met with jubilation from the crowd. Earlier, Trump met with Japan's newly elected, ultra-conservative leader in Tokyo during one of the busiest days of his Asia trip. During his address to the troops, Trump said Japanese giant carmaker Toyota is going to be build auto plants all over the United States to the tune of over $10 billion. So go out and buy a Toyota, he concluded. The president then weaved his way through some of his favorite topics, such as tariffs and attracting foreign investment.
There's no military like our military, not even close. Nobody has our weapons, and it'll be stronger and more powerful than ever before very soon. You know, we just approved the biggest budget in the history, over $1 trillion. Over $1 trillion. We have the best ships, the best airplanes, the best submarines, the best technology. But above all, we have America's military. It's the best people. It's all about the people, ultimately. I'm also supporting an across-the-board pay raise for every sailor and service member in the United States Armed Forces. Now, if you don't want it, you want to give back to your country, just let us know. We won't give it to you. Is there anybody in that category? Huh? But now, all we really have to do is get the Democrats to approve it. I was campaigning 1 year ago, and look at all the things that we've done since this unbelievable day, November 5th. That's when it all changed. When we won on November 5th, it all changed, and we went from a country that wasn't respected and a lot of people that had no spirit. That includes joining the police, the fire departments. They didn't want to join. After that, they started joining, and it seems like 10 years ago, not less than a year. Think of it, less than a year ago, I was campaigning. You know, we won the second election by a lot, so we had to just prove it by winning the third by too big to rig, I called it. It was too big to rig. We've made Japan a lot of money. That's okay. But they're a big investor in our country, and we like that. But think of those numbers. We weren't doing anywhere near. We were laughed at, and now they're all saying they've never seen anything like what's happened in such a short period of time. And I was just told by the Prime Minister that Toyota is going to be putting auto plants all over the United States to the tune of over $10 billion. So that's Toyota. So go out and buy a Toyota. The tariffs have been so good. We're taking in trillions and trillions of dollars. I heard them before I came up. I heard on, you're all on television now. They're talking to all the networks. Everybody's covering it. Look at these characters back. Look at all of them. And and they were talking about the tariffs. The tariffs have, nobody understood tariffs like I understood tariffs. And the tariffs are having people go into our country and spend tremendous numbers like we've never seen. And that brings jobs with it. Thank you very much. A big hello. This is a special group of patriots, champions, winners. You are winners. Oh, I'd love to have your job. And a very special hello to the greatest sailors anywhere in the seas, the incredible men and women of the United States Navy. Very special people. Thank you very much. And I'm delighted to report that I've just approved the first batch of missiles. You saw a couple of them coming down with me. I hugged them. We need them. They're the best in the world. Nobody has them like we have them. They all want our missiles. That's the problem. Everybody wants them. But it's the first batch of missiles to be delivered to the Japanese self-defense forces for Japan's F-35s. And they're coming this week, so they're ahead of schedule. So I just want to tell Madam Prime Minister, they've been waiting for those missiles. And we got them here right away.
Not too bad. How we doing? I hear they call you guys the freedom fighters. Is that right? You know, what President Trump's doing is pretty simple, but it's revolutionary. He's reminding the country and our adversaries that we're going to put America first. How about that? Now, that doesn't mean America alone. We have our allies like we do here in Japan, incredible allies where we have 55,000 American troops and we stand shoulder to shoulder with them. But part of being strong is putting America and Americans first. It also means, on that banner, peace through strength. You see, I look out at this crowd and I see a lot of diverse faces. A lot of faces, black, brown, white, and otherwise. From small towns, from big cities, rich, poor. I don't know you and you don't know me. But I don't look at you and see who you are based on the color of your skin. I look at you as a fellow American who bleeds red. Our strength is not our diversity. Our strength is our common purpose.